I am America's #1 intuitive parenting expert and healer. I'm a podcast host. I'm also a speaker and a CEO and founder of Healing for the Soul. Well, here, I gotta tell you something. Well, let's see. July 1st to this current day, September 29th, 2022, I have gone through a lot of amazing changes. I just got the notification that I'm live on my YouTube channel, so that's a plus. I've gone through a lot of amazing things. I'm going to start out with all of the good things that happened that worked for my benefit. And you're going to be trying to wrap your head around this good part, I know. But just hear me out. So, July 1st, I got a new office and we were moving stuff while I was still seeing people coming in for hypnotherapy sessions and Reiki sessions. So, I was doing both. Well, then I had my baby born, who's breastfeeding right now. He was born on August 9th. Right before that, I found out my sister may have cancer. Right like the day before I went in to have my son. My number 6 baby, my 5th son in 7 years' time. C-section. So I'm telling you all of this. 2 weeks later, after my boy here was born, my number 6 C-section in 7 years, my 5th boy. I've only got one living girl on earth. I've had 3, or not 3, but I have 2 miscarriages. I want to say that my grandpa had died, and my grandpa was the hardest working man that I know that will ever live this planet. 87 years old, still working, still running his own business, still doing what needs to be done every day to provide for his wife, because obviously his children are all grown up. Not all of them had their stuff together, believe me, I know them. Whole other ball game. So, had that all that stuff happen. Then there was some things that had happened after my grandpa had died. Just because it was really hard for me. I had a client the next day, right after he had passed. I didn't tell anybody, kept all my stuff together. And even before my son was born here on August 9th, forgot my other July issue is that the person who I was forced to assign my rights over as a mother to when Child Protection took my oldest son at 4 days old in 2015, I'm not able to see my son because of whatever reason. The therapist supposedly knows more. Whole other ballgame. But I didn't react how I normally reacted, which I'm proud of myself for that. I'm not able to see my son, but court order's court order, but they get to do whatever they want to do because of lack of money on my end. So then I'm still doing my work, still doing what I need to. Now today, after I just bought my tabs yesterday for a van, that my 2005 Chrysler Town and Country that I've had since 2016, that all of a sudden decides to work on my benefit. And after I put $50 worth of gas into it, filled my tank full, mind you, just got tabs yesterday, paid out $200 in the state of South Dakota, where the prices are more, by the way, to tab than they were in Minnesota, to tab that same vehicle. I want to put this out there. That vehicle decides today. We already knew it had very dangerous problems. I mean, it didn't have, in the rear end, it didn't have any shocks. The suspension system underneath was shot, rusted through. So now today, when I was going to go drop off the proof that my husband had quit his job last week, Friday, on the 23rd of this month, then I submitted that paperwork to find out that now my CV joint went out on my driver's side. I am using a lot of technical terms for people who have no clue what they're talking about for vehicles, because most people, not me, I love mechanics who think that women don't know anything. Thank you, because you prove yourselves to be something else in the business world. I'm just telling you how it is. So when I'm having these issues that are going on, all these different things, my CV joint now just went out. So now the van's really shot because there's no point when a suspension system was already rusted to replace it. The sway bar is broke underneath. And the other side that a mechanic was supposed to have helped, they zip tied it, a brand new shock. So we knew that it was zip tied and whatever on that part. So we found all this out today. And then I'm just like, you know what? This is the stuff that people need to see, that I have still been working. I've still been doing what I need to do. I'm still doing the best I can at parenting while still helping other people, while still booking other people. My desk doesn't look the best. But the reason why I'm putting this out there is because all this stuff that happened, it sounds really horrible. I mean, like, my grandpa died, didn't know about my sister having cancer, had my son being told that I wouldn't be able to see him anymore because she gets to do whatever she wants to do because of lack of money. And then I get people that tell me, oh, money is evil and blah, blah, blah. No, it is not. If I had more money, I could help more people, which that's what I went and did. And last month, I took some of the money that I had gotten from clients that I did have, and I said, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself some more in the John Maxwell Mentorship Program, so this way I can help more people out. And I've been waking up successfully now at 4:30 every morning while having a 6-week-old baby. In the meantime, I also managed to release 14 pounds. Here's the blessing in all of this stuff that's happened. I'm not doing any of this for attention. I'm not doing this poor me, pity me. I do need a 15-passenger van, but I can't get a loan because of my ordeal in Minnesota. My credit is shot. So in the meantime, back on July 25th of this year, I wrote down my wins list of what I would like to have happen. Not all of them have dates. I'm trying to make it the best like I can show you. Not all of them have dates. Not all of them have everything, listed on my paper here. But I want to point out a few things. I noticed today that my big wins, my husband being able to quit his job, and his job was only bringing in $800 gross, so it wasn't nothing much. I can make that easily. So then my medium wins, you look at that. I put my small wins of business consistency of $2,000 every month. And then my SSI, nonetheless, went down to $50 a month. So I'm looking at all of this. I'm seeing all these wins, all of these scratched off wins that happened in the midst of all this crap that was happening for me. Because here's the deal. When I have prayed and I've asked God to help me figure this out, like, what's going on here? I need help financially. It's obvious. I'm living with my mother, for crying out loud. The whole family is. We've got all these kids. We've got all this stuff happening. I'm done with that. I'm done with that lifestyle of the poverty. I mean, my God, it's horrible to live that way. I don't even fit in with that anymore, with that group, because my mind is already with the other people that know what they want. They get what they want. They make it happen. They invest in themselves. They do better. They are more in this world by helping other people because they choose to keep investing in themselves. So one of the things that I realized that I've been doing that has worked, outside of writing this down, what my wins were, I've also been using my mental bank ledger. Now this shows book 1, and it doesn't show everything. But here's the deal. When I pay myself at night for these activities that I am doing during the day, that's where all the dollar signs are, by the way. So when I pay myself for doing my live right now, even if nobody's watching, I still pay myself. It's $50 now, not $72, but I pay myself that $50. So when I'm doing a business task or I'm eating healthy, for example, I'm not eating the wheat that I'm not supposed to. So if I eat healthy, I can write it down as $50. I did something, move me closer to my goal, closer to where I need to be in life because of all the things that have happened recently. Like I said, I could have easily done with, like a lot of people do, which I see all these people posting about their loved ones dying. I post about mine and they're just like, bypass me. That's okay because I don't need the attention. I'm not on here for the attention. I'm here to speak to the people who are serious, who want to have the change happen, which is why I posted about my mental bank ledger, which is why I posted about my vehicles, posted my wins. And if you notice, my big wins is my 15 passenger van, because now I look at it this way. The white van, my 2005, that no longer works, I've had since 2016, only replaced the motor in it once. I'm looking at it this way. Now I'm down to one vehicle that's half working. I'm looking at it as now God just moved that one vehicle that we knew was no good, that was dangerous on the road. He just moved that one so generously over for us after we just bought tabs, after we just put $50 worth of gas in it today to fill the tank to get me through another 2 weeks. He just moved that van over and said, you know what? We're going to release that van. We're going to let it go because you've got this. You can do this. You already know what day your new van is coming. You're already working on making those things happen. You're doing your mental bank to ensure that it happens. You've wrote down, you've seen the things that you've already been doing that you're actually achieving because you finally figured out how to get out of your own way, which most people don't know how to get out of their own way, which is why they're stuck. They complain about people having money, yet they themselves are pushing it away when you complain about it. See, when you complain about something, it's called resistance, and it keeps coming to you. So instead of having the resistance keeping coming to you, I'm just like, you know what? I accept and I release the van, my 2005 that I can't drive now. I just have the 2011 van that only half works with all the kids to try to stuff in. But I accept that because this was a blessing. Just like when I can't see my son right now because of whatever on that end, won't go there. I look at it as a blessing because if that had not happened with my son being taken away without any court orders or proof of harm being done in Minnesota, and me having to escape Minnesota to come to South Dakota to be able to have the life of my now almost 6-year-old, who'll be 6 on Monday here, I look at it this way. If that hadn't happened, I would not be in the position I am now in helping other people overcome their stuff. Because I can only take somebody as far as I've gone. And I have gone very far. 6 weeks ago, I literally just had a baby via C-section that I am now breastfeeding. I astonished my doctor because I'm already fitting into my jeans. I lost weight, prior pregnancy weight. I'm already below that by 14 pounds. I've got all these things that are happening. I've got all these amazing people that I keep meeting. After my husband said last week, we prayed on it and we kept praying on it and thinking about it. And we're like, let's just quit because we can do more with the business. We'll just go full time with business. And that's it. We'll just put all of our stock into one thing and do it very well and help change as many lives as possible. And the opportunities have been exploding left and right, all these opportunities. So when I see that win down for the 15 passenger van, I know I'm going to get it. So my whole point of doing this was to say, you know what helped me along the way, other than changing my life using hypnosis, another tool that I had used for goal manifestation in addition to my mental bank, because it does work amazingly. I'm also teaching Reiki. The Reiki allows the energy to flow. It comes through you. It doesn't do anything. It's not a religion. It's none of that. But it's amazing energy tool because energy never lies. And like when you know somebody, if they're lying or not, you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like if this person's bad for you and all that. That's your energy system, not just your stomach. That's literally your body's energy system saying, hey, there's something wrong with this person. Get away from them. That's why you get that feeling in the bottom of the pit of your stomach. Or like if you're a mom, you're like, you just know there's something wrong with your child. The doctor doesn't know, but you just know there's something wrong. Or like if you've ever been pregnant like I have 8 times, you start to figure out that when there's things that are going wrong, You just kind of know that there's something there. You need to get it checked. You know, you go through these different things in life and you just have that feeling. That's all energy. Same like with hypnosis. When people say, oh, hypnosis, they listen to meditation and meditation works for them. Guided meditation works for them, but they can't be hypnotized. Meanwhile, these same people don't know that they've been lied to. They didn't know that they were lied to by people who didn't go to college for hypnosis like I did. They didn't know that they were lied to when they heard guided meditation with the pretty music, as I call it, and telling them to take a deep breath in and release, let go of all the cares and all the worries of the day. Taking another deep breath in, hold it, release. They didn't know that that was hypnosis, but they can't be hypnotized because that's guided imagery, meditation, or hypnosis. But I'm pretty sure it's hypnosis because I went to college for it. In fact, I went to the nation's only accredited college of hypnotherapy. I earned my diploma in hypnotherapy. So yes, I know I'm told to call it guided meditation, call it guided imagery, call it meditation. But here's the deal. I don't like to lie to people. I'm not a sugarcoat type of person. In fact, that's why a lot of people do like to see me, because I really simply ask the clients, hey, the people that I see, I'm like, you know what? Why do you come to me? Do you like that I'm a non-sugarcoating person? And they said yes. I asked, do you like the fact that I like to keep your session amount low and you get a higher return on the work that we do together? You get a higher return? And they said yes. And I said, okay, this is the type of people that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people who are serious, not the curious. I'm looking for the people who are serious about wanting change. People who are tired of the same stuff, like what I just mentioned, all the stuff that happened, my grandpa dying, my vehicle now that I can't drive. I got my son I can't see. I got all these different horrible things that happened, but yet this entire 6 weeks after just having a baby, mind you, all this stuff that happened, I'm turning around and saying, you know what? I just opened up more. I realized today I've got more wins than I did losses. I still got my health. And for me to figure out why my son was taken versus my husband, because I'm like, when I was going through my ordeal, I'm like, God, you could have took anybody else. You could have took my husband. You could have took my mom. And like, you could have took anybody else but my son. But this morning, in true meditation, which is just quieting your mind, getting rid of all your thoughts, not listening to take a deep breath in and relax. Not that. That was true meditation. This morning, what I heard was that if I had took your husband, you wouldn't have the other 5 children. The other one that passed almost a year ago, next month here, coming up. I wouldn't have my children. I would have had the same shit different day because I would not have had my business operating. I wouldn't have even known about hypnosis. I wouldn't have known that there was natural ways to heal. I wouldn't have known that I could have been off of anxiety medication, depression medication, all these other medications. I wouldn't have known that if God had took my husband. If God had took my mom, I would have been like, okay, what can I do? God, what took my sister, I would have said, well, she did whiplash my neck, severely whiplash it. I mean, she did do that. She did break my couple car mirrors off my cars for me, She did do that and back into my vehicle. Don't piss her off. I'm just saying, that's my sister. But I would have been like, okay, now I got her kids. But God was smart. See, he knew to power me to do what it is that I don't necessarily want to do in life. He knew he had to take what meant the most to me, the most precious, valuable resource, the most precious, valuable. This is why I get up. This is what I was willing to die for. Was my son Miracle, my first living son. So he knew he had to take him to get me to do what he wanted me to do prior to my son being taken. So when I'm out and I get rejected, we get rejected, all of us do. The rejection no longer hurts me because on my rejection, right by my son Miracle's picture, is the two worst things that have ever been said to me, and I will never hear anything worse than that ever said to me, which is that there was no heartbeat from when I miscarried. And the other worst thing that was ever said to me was that Miracle is never coming home. My son wasn't coming home. So when I heard those two worst things and I wrote them down and I thought about them, I said, you know what? I posted them by my picture where I got my son Miracle picture posted up there. I got it right by my phone call spot here. And I stopped and I think to myself, so who's next? Was that the worst thing ever said to me? I look at that paper. When people say, no, we're not interested. I look at my paper, the worst things ever said, no heartbeat. My son isn't coming home. Nothing compares to that amount of pain. Because the emotional pain of staying the same of where I am is greater than the pain of not being where I deserve to be. So if I resonate with you at all whatsoever, talk with me, reach out to me. Say, hey, I'm tired of my stuff being the same damn way. I know that you can get it. I know. And you know how I know for a fact I can get you results? I know for a fact I can get you results. Because I've already been there, done that, proved it to myself. And I'll tell you right now, I am excellent. I excel at helping other people reach their goals and dreams. You can talk to, I got all these testimonials. I never really post them. I don't stop and think about that. I'm not the best at posting online, and I know that. I'm not the best at doing email follow-up. But I do follow up with people on the phone. I do follow up with people text message. I do that. But here's the deal. There's things in life that are going to make you or break you. I just had a lot of stuff happen. I just mentioned that happened since July 1st for me personally. And while a lot of people professionally say, keep it off line, you don't want to post any of your garbage. I'm also the one that's transparent. I'm not showing you the flashy vehicles not because I don't own them, because I believe that these are the moments that when people look back and they say, oh, she was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. The hell if I was born with nothing. I mean, you look at my parents. They're the reason why I needed 16 years of therapy, and I was still screwed up in that talk therapy. I mean, it didn't do anything but attract more of the same crap that I didn't want. When I switched to hypnotherapy, my life has been on fire. Boom, 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 getting all these different things that I ever wanted. I never would have dreamed that all these wins I had could happen. I didn't realize how powerful Reiki was until I had it happen. I didn't realize how powerful my brain was until I started seeing that my goals and dreams actually do get met. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to attract the good stuff in your life or you want to continue to attract the bad stuff. Either way, I'm for the people who are serious about wanting results. I'm serious for the people who are tired of life being the same shit day after day after day, and they're stuck at a dead-end job that they hate. They're tired of not being heard. They're tired of not being seen. They're just tired of their husbands not listening to them. They're tired of their husband taking and not helping with the kids. We won't go there. Mine's got his own hypnotherapist for that one. I do not hypnotize my own spouse to do that part because I've been there, done that. And all it did was help with work anxiety for him to go to work. That's all it did. But I didn't do any more after that. But here's the deal. If you want results, you want inspiration, you want somebody to say, hey, you got this, you can do this. I've been there, I've done that in the least amount of sessions, then contact me. If you don't want that, that's fine. You can take me off your friends list. You can still follow me. You can say, hey, I know somebody else who needs her to help get them to where they want to go. But I'll tell you this much right now. all the stuff that I've been through in my life, for me to sit here and say that I understand why my son was taken, and I'm thankful that he was, says a hell of a lot about who I am as a person. Says a hell of a lot about how I'm a mother, can't see my son, no court orders, no proof, none of that, since 40 years old. Got to see him, but then now I can't, whatever. But for me to sit here and say, you know what, if my husband had been taken and said, if God would have took my husband, I wouldn't have these other kids. I wouldn't have this business. If my son hadn't been taken, I would not have had this business. I would have never even thought of this. I would not be able to change all the lives that I've already changed and all the lives that I am destined to change, to help change. So if that person is you that's listening to this right now, I want to tell you something. There was a time I didn't have anybody to believe in me. I didn't have anybody. My husband, the only thing that I can honestly tell you 100% that he told me one time that I'll never forget is he said, with me, he has learned that anything is possible. And I will tell you right now, I know that I need to go because he just was generous and filled this diaper, this little 6-week-old baby. That, keep in mind, I've had all this stuff happen. I'm still seeing people. I know. We're dealing with the 6-week mark. I just want to say, you got this, you can do this, but you're not going to be able to do it alone. And I already know that because I've been there, done it, tried it. And doing life alone without somebody to help you get your goals and dreams met, you'll never be there. You'll die before that'll happen. And I can guarantee your death will happen without getting your goals and dreams met if you don't find somebody to help you get those goals and dreams met. Because until I hired somebody to help me, my own hypnotherapist, seeking someone to teach me Reiki, I did not have the life that I dreamed of. I was miserable. I complained. I thought rich people were evil and yada, 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 like a lot of people complain about. It wasn't until I hired somebody else to help me change my mindset that I finally started getting in life what it is that I deserved to have. And in turn, I get to help millions of people do the same. So make it a great day, because if you don't want to, that's fine. But don't do it for attention on social media and sit here and complain about your life. Actually decide to do something about it by hiring yourself a coach. Hire yourself a hypnotherapist like myself to help you get your goals and dreams met. Otherwise, what's the point of just complaining? It only makes you get older faster. If you did not know that already, it really does. That's why people end up older faster and more stressed, is because they didn't learn how to handle their stress. So make it a great night.